Hi, this is Jack Aldane for IR Magazine, and I'm stood here with Peter van Heeke and Marcus Sultzer from EQS Group. Peter, I was wondering whether you could tell us a little bit about how you see technological change transforming IR, both presently and also in future. What are some of the shifts that you anticipate?
Well, I think, like in many industries, that digitization will be one of the big changes. It increases transparency, and today information is widely available. So we believe that IR departments, IROs, will be more like extracting data and learning from it. So they will make decisions on a sort of data extract approach, data-driven approach, so that they can make better decisions on which investors to meet or not to meet. So therefore, they need to work in a sort of digital environment where they can compare data from different sources and make decisions on them. So it's the idea of big data, and it will allow them to make their IR activities more efficient and more effective.
So IROs tend not to be early adopters of new technologies, and so it's a bit of a challenge as to sort of which they choose and why, and which are sort of most worth their time. Marcus, do you mind telling us a little bit about how you see this challenge being solved?
Sure. I mean, there are two parts to the answer, I think. One part lies in the question. So what is worth their time? They are under pressure. We have MiFID II coming into the work of the IROs. They have to do more investor outreach themselves. They have to meet them themselves. And so I do think initially technology is a relief for them. So technology and technological solutions as a whole will help them to cope with all the workload. And sure, the question is which technology to choose. EQS, when we started in 2000, there was no technology at all. And we said we see this increasing workload coming, more regulation, globalization. And our approach was always to create a solution which helps IROs as a whole, so that they don't have to choose 5 and 10 providers to get their work done, but basically get one platform delivered where they can make their work. So I do think this consolidated approach is something which will help them. Certainly there are still many things you can try, and I think you have to try. I mean, it's like in our personal lives. You try different social media stuff, you try different technologies at home, and I think there won't be a way around not trying it out. In the end, I still believe it's good to have technology, and I still believe it will be consolidated and should be consolidated.
And then the technological changes that you kind of anticipate, particularly in the next 12 to 18 months, being the most influential. Which would you identify as being among those, and why?
Well, we had already the trend of digitization. Marcus already mentioned another one, which was globalization. We think that investors now, they look internationally. So where before, like, globalization was like sort of an option, we think it's imperative today for companies and our departments to act globally. And a third sort of trend we see is the regulation. We have seen regulation increasing over the last years. It will not stop, it will continue, because governments want financial markets to be more transparent. So we think that IROs need to be prepared for that to be coming and see how can they be more efficient. Can be that they use software providers or service providers for that, or do it themselves. So that's what we think will happen now and in the future as well.
So what about the highlights from this year's Global Forum? Anything that particularly stood out? Anything that you found surprising, concerning?
Take that one. I mean, what stands out always for me are the awards. And we have clients all over the world, and receiving an email from one of the award winners, China Telecom, and say, sorry guys, I can't come over these 11,000 kilometers, but we're so happy to receiving it, and we're so proud, and it really shows us that our work is valuable, because you seldom have this in investor relations, that an investor comes and says, you're so valuable to me. That's great, and receiving it on behalf of China Telecom, that was really my highlight. And what really worked out well this year, I think, is a good bunch of people coming from different countries. Really good networking, good talks. I think that's one of the key things you deliver with our magazine, and we're happy to have.
Biggest surprises, though, things that you heard discussed, or things that sort of concerned you or made you think twice about some of the assumptions you came into the forum with?
There's one thing interesting, and not a big surprise. There was a lot of talks on MiFID II, and they're going on since 3-4 years already. But it seems that now, almost 1 year after came into force, it really impacts the investor relations officers. And that's interesting to see, because it kind of confirms what we thought will happen, but we were uncertain because 3 years of discussion, nothing happened, and now it's really happening. Brokers saying no, we don't want to be in between. Investors are saying meet us directly, talk to us directly, and that will change how the investor relations officers work, and this will also change the technology they have to use, because doing one-on-ones will continue to happen, but will you really be able to arrange all your roadshows yourself? Will you really be able to meet every investor where they are based? I don't believe so. I think you will need technology for this, and it's interesting to see that it's now moving into this direction.
Final question, I guess, is to ask why you think events like this are important to bring together the IR community.
We love events like this. It gives us the opportunity to meet clients, like Marcus said, but also to meet future clients. There's so much content going around where we can learn from as well. We can hear about the challenges they have today, the challenges they think they will have in the future. So I think today, but also for the future, it helps us to anticipate that and deliver the service needed to help them be more efficient.
Marcus, Peter, pleasure. Thank you.